Respect, safety, good food, fun? Which one is better? I want to first start by saying I don't dislike any of these countries. I'm just giving my honest review about these two countries, South Korea and Thailand, as someone who's been to both of them. I'm also going to include some statistics in this video. So first I want to talk about the people. So we're going to talk about the people in South Korea and the people in Thailand. I'm going to first start by touching on Thailand. Thailand is actually considered one of the key countries for digital nomads. They have a visa program that's easy to unlock. So they also have long-term residence programs for people who want to have a visa for over 10 years. For this reason, there's a lot of foreigners in Thailand. South Korea has not been open for many years, and it just started advancing as far as civilization, technology, etc. in the last 15 to 30 years. So it's known for being somewhat more of a homogenous society compared to Thailand. Even in the big cities like Busan and Seoul, when you're walking down the street, you don't see as many foreigners if you're walking down like Bangkok, Thailand, right? There's a little more foreigners. I will say, to be fair, South Korea is getting better at this. They're offering more teaching jobs, more jobs for English speakers, and the pay is pretty good. They're known for having some of the better, higher paying jobs in Asia when it comes to recruiting foreigners and or English speakers. They hire people from a lot of foreign countries, and when I was South in Korea, I met people from all over the world. I met people from South Africa, from Turkey, from Australia. There's a lot of English-speaking people that they would bring over, or people who English was not even their first language, but they still hired them because their English was proficient enough and they had a degree. So like, okay, you speak English at a good level, you got a degree at a recognized college, you can come teach English over here. So I met people from all over the world when I was there. The people in South Korea tend to show respect to those in authority, especially teachers and police officers, right? So what I mean by this is, when I was a teacher over there in South Korea, the students would show great respect. They'd call me sir, or they'd offer their hands like this, like when you're trying to give them a paper or a pencil or something. When people do both hands like that, it's considered like a sign of respect, like, you can please give me this. Or sometimes they'd even bow to me, and I was like, you don't have to do that. But it was very respectful, so that's a cool thing there. They also respect their elders, which is kind of a lost art in America, right? I will say this about the Thai people, though. The Thai people, in my experience, and we're talking to other foreigners who arrived to Thailand and South Korea, the Thai people are known for being more open, more warm, where the people in South Korea are cold. What I mean by that is, so in school we learned about warm countries and cold countries. Warm countries are countries where the people are more friendly, maybe more outgoing, they touch you when they talk, etc. Or the cold countries, the people are standoffish, right? There's countries in Eastern Europe like Russia, maybe Ukraine. And there's countries in Asia like China, South Korea, Japan. They're kind of known for being cold. It's nothing offensive against their culture. It's just they're a little less outgoing, maybe more distant. It takes a while for them to trust you or for them to know you and stuff like that. So Thai people are way more inviting. You talk to them once, and they'll want to hang out with you or tell you about their culture and stuff like that. Where every, listen to me, interaction I had in South Korea that wasn't work related, I had to initiate it. Every interaction. Even when I'm going to the grocery store, right? There'll be a group of Thai or a group of South Korean people, and I'm kind of lost, so I'm like asking about certain things, like, hey, what's this? They're very shy, stuff like that. And then it would take a while for them to warm up, and then right after they answer my question, they go off, you know what I'm saying? So they're just not used to being around other people who look like them, and even among themselves, they can be somewhat cold. It's just a cultural thing. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just letting you know. One concern a lot of people have when it comes to traveling is safety. And I will say, in both places, I never felt danger. So I was in South Korea and I was in Thailand. And I never felt any type of element like, oh, something might happen or this or that. The only time I kind of felt, a little more on guard, you could say, was when I was taking a tut-tut. In Thailand, and I noticed noticed he was taking the back routes, right? So he wasn't taking the main street, he was taking the back routes. That's the only time I'm like, hold on, what's this person doing? But I made sure I had my camera on as well. I was recording everything, and overall it was good. Like, I never felt anything bad overall. Never seen any violence and stuff like that. Heard their laws are very strict out there in a lot of those Asian countries, so that reduces a lot of violence. Like I said, when I was there, I was good. Nothing bad happened to me or the people I was with, or I didn't hear any bad stories about violence and danger and stuff like this. But one website I use is Nubeo, right? I'm not getting promoted from them. It's not a sponsorship. I'm just giving you the tools I use. So according to Nubeo, it looks like Thailand has a higher crime index than South Korea, right? It looks like there's more people worried about what may happen, or there's a slight increase in certain crimes. But like I said, it's still overall fairly safe, right? I never had anything bad happen to me. I never heard any bad stories, but Thailand is considered slightly less safe than South Korea, if I'm being honest. Now, using that website, let's talk about the food, right? So we're going to use the same website, and we're going to talk about the food. The good thing about this website is you can look at different categories: safety, food, cost of living, etc. According to this website, the average meal in Bangkok is about 100 baht, or $2.77 USD. You know that sounds good. When I was in Thailand, I was buying meals for like $1.50 up to $6, right? It's nothing. The average meal in Seoul, South Korea is 270 baht, or about $7.50. That's more than double the price. I don't know about you, but when I'm on vacation, I don't like to worry about money, right? I don't want that to even enter my mind. Food tastes better when it's not only good, but it's also affordable. It feels like it tastes even better. But maybe my taste buds are different from yours, so let's see what Reddit has to say. I went to Reddit to ask about the food comparison between Thai food and South Korea, and this is what I got. Some people say South Korean food, some people say Thai food, but overwhelmingly it looks like Thai has won the battle against the food category. Now, me personally, I will say I was actually surprised, because most countries I go to, I've been to over 10 countries at this point, most countries I go to, the food tastes better over there as opposed to here in America, right? So what I mean by that, if I had Spanish food in America, it's going to taste better when I go to Spain. If I have Turkish food in America, it's going to taste better when I get to Turkey. If I have Brazilian food here in America, it tastes better when I was actually in Rio de Janeiro. However, South Korea is the first place I've been to where the food tastes the same. Yes, I was surprised by this. The food in South Korea tastes the same as the food in America, the Korean food in America. So I was surprised by this. This is the one country and only country that I experienced this. So let's do a little bit of a recap. We talked about the food, we talked about the people, and we talked about the safety. Now let's talk about the nightlife. After partying in both countries, it's hard to say if there's a clear winner. If you look at both of the cities, the main cities, Bangkok, Thailand, and Seoul, South Korea, both of them have areas where it's like predominantly foreigners. Like, it's known for having foreigners. So if you want to be around people who look like you, or people who speak English but they're from a different country, you can go there. Both of the cities have those type of areas, right? But also both of the cities have areas, obviously, where you can meet foreigners. You can meet locals, right? So you can either meet locals or you can meet foreigners. Up to you. Both of the cities have those. In this clip, you'll see that I was in South Korea. Now, I do want to say, when I was in South Korea, there were areas where they straight up told me, no foreigners. So I tried to go to certain bars or clubs, and they would tell us, hey, no foreigners, no foreigners, no foreigners. Like, it'd be Koreans only. And, I respect that. I'm just giving my honest review, right? I'm letting you guys know the good, the bad, and everything in between. One cool thing about partying in South Korea is every time I'd go out, especially in Seoul, and they hear me speaking English, like an American speaking English, a lot of Koreans would like that, and they would buy me a shot or two, right? So like it got to the point where when I'm going out, I'm like, okay, watch this. I know how I can get a free shot or free drinks because they're so friendly and they want to hear. They're friendly when they're under the influence, I'll say that. But they want to hear an American speak English. Maybe they want to practice some English with you. Maybe they want to be accepted by you. But when it comes to the nightlife and bar scene, I notice that they're friendly when it comes to their alcohol. I didn't have this experience in Thailand. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just letting you know that it was never brought to my attention that someone wanted to buy me a shot or buy me alcohol in Thailand. However, like I said, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just letting you know the differences. Both places have an active nightlife.
Oh, should I eat one?
There's so much to unpack in this Thailand versus South Korea that I can't get it in one video, so I'm probably going to make a part 2 at a later date. Well, not probably, I am going to make a number 2. But as the last thing I wanted to tackle was the attraction, right? Korea, South Korea specifically, is known for its strict beauty standards, right? I will say when I lived there and I observed the people, I never seen anywhere else that had people with such clear skin. Like their acne fighting game is on point. Like their skin is smooth, no acne. I'm like, wow, how do they do this? It looks hella nice. However, I will say both countries have attractive people and it just depends on your personal preference, right? So maybe you like more muscles or more curves or whatever. I will say that can be more common, at least from my experience, in Thailand, where in South Korea it seems like they like the pale, skinny look. In Thailand there's a sense of that, but there's also an embrace of people who have muscles or who have curves, you know, like they got the MMA fighters, the Muay Thai fighters, or they have just people who, you know, embrace curves more. Or you may have curvy women or men who have more muscles. I would say it's more, that more look is accepted in Thailand, where like I said in South Korea they want someone to be skinny, preferably tall, etc., you know. Which is another thing, I want to talk about height. I will say, I've noticed this in both countries, more specifically South Korea, but maybe it's like the growth hormones or the stuff that they're putting in food now. You'll see the older generation of South Koreans, and they'll be kind of shorter. When I say older generation, I'm talking like age 50 and up. They'll be short. But then when you see the modern, the more younger generation, you know, teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, you see their American height. So the average American height is 5'9" for a male, and then it's like 5'7", 5'6" for a female. So you see the younger generation, they'll meet those height requirements, but the olders, like the 50s and up, you see they're a lot shorter. So maybe there's a change in the food that happened in the last, you know, 30, 40, 50 years, but now you'll see typically that the Koreans are the same height as us Americans, if not a little bit taller. But yeah, that was a quick recap about South Korea versus Thailand. Let me know your opinion. Which one do you think is better? And like I said, I will make a part 2 to this that goes further in detail. Peace.